Everybody, welcome back to Saltwater Chickens and Friends. Today is like an animal update video. The barn needed to be scooped out, so pretty much the birds were just running around watching me and hoping they would get food as I shoveled out the barn and filled the wheelbarrow, and yeah, that's pretty much what I was doing. And I would walk out of the coop as the rooster is flapping a lot. I guess he's like doing a welcome flap, maybe. I don't know, chicken dance. But as I would walk out of the coop, he would do that. So pretty much that's what I did. And then while I was doing that, the birds would be in the nesting boxes because I had to move them to a corner of the pen that was outdoors. As I shoveled out the coop, I had to move the nesting boxes, so a couple would sit in them, and then some would just walk around and dig in them and investigate what the other birds were doing. And then I would come back with the wheelbarrow and I would fill it in. Into the barn. And shovel up some more, and the birds would just walk around, and someday as you can see, I just kept doing this again. Comment down below what you guys have been up to. While I was doing this, they would just be roaming around and digging in the barn and supervising, I guess you could say. And I had to fast forward a little bit because of an ad pouring. And finally, I finished shoveling it out, and I am starting to put the stuff back in there. Starting with the nesting boxes. And yes, Bluebell is in there. There is a bird sitting in the nesting box as it was carried in. It was kind of funny. She was sitting on some eggs. And then I brought back in the water, and put it on top of a nesting box so that it wouldn't get full of straw when they spread out, which we will get to later in the video, but they love to dig in the straw from their very spoiled. And as Fudgy waits for me, she is drinking water because it's a lot of work to supervise somebody cleaning out your house, apparently. Two wooden ladders that we have. A lot of people, they like to use like a rod or like a beam that goes across, and that is, we used to do that, but then when we expanded our flock and we got more birds, we needed more rungs, so we just used two wooden ladders, which we put on either side of the barn, and then it fits them all. Normally the rooster is at the top of the one on the left hand, and then, all the rest. And here you can see I'm just adding some more nesting boxes and putting one behind the door, which is why I did that for a minute. But then it gets better. And then I am putting in some bag of straw. We use straw, not to be confused with hay, which can actually hurt a bird's crop if they eat hay, so we use straw. And 2 bags here because in the winter it keeps the room warmer and it's just easier to do. In the summer we normally use 1 bag, but in winter we use 2 bags. And then originally I had just dumped them out, and then I set up the camera really fast to watch the birds spread out, which they weren't doing a very good job of, so after a while I just came back in and spread out the rest of it, because normally they like to dig it all out, but for some reason they didn't do that very fast today, and they filled up their food. So afterwards I will have to fix their food. After I put the food in, it was kind of funny, they spread it out way more. So I had to bring a nesting box in, an empty milk crate, and put their food on top of it so they couldn't fill it with straw, and then I had to dig all the straw out of it. But then it was fine and they didn't get that much straw anymore. And then after it was all done, we fed them some rolls, and they love bread. They're pretty greedy. They do not like to share with each other, so a lot of them fight over it, and they love it. And that's pretty much it for the update with the birds. Now, you haven't seen Amber on the channel in a couple months, and boy has she gotten big. She's more than doubled in size, and when we first got her, she just fit in my arms, but now she is over 40 pounds, and she's big and she's bad. But we have been teaching her some things like down and stay and bed and all that stuff, and she's very energetic and playful. We've also been crate training her, so at night that's where she goes when she sleeps. She was so cute when she was little. She still is really cute, but when she was little, she was angelic. She wasn't as bad as she is now, because now she puts her paws up on the counters and tries to get whatever is on the top of the counter, which is not good. It's been some close calls with her, but we have been playing this game with her to keep her busy, like to tire her out, and it's like simultaneous throwing the toys or whatever. We slide them across the floor so she doesn't jump too high. And it's 2 people, and we throw them at the same time to try to keep her busy. But in this shot right here, she just wanted to play with her stuffed elephant. She didn't really want to play with anything else, which is a shame, but oh well. And you might be seeing these orange long things, which we call her wet weasel, because she chews on them so much they're really wet and slobbery. They're just weasels, and they have like a squeaker at the end of the tail and the mouth, and it's like so gross because she's always chewing them. Yeah, and Yuri, like, he's probably, hopefully you saw his video, his cat dancer video, but if you haven't, go check that out. It's in the iCard up above here, one of the corners of the screen, and take a minute to pause and subscribe. And yeah, he's been good. And Rosie, she's good. She's same as her, a little bit fighty. She did this little paw thing, but she's good. So I think that's it for today's animal update. Bye for now. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.